Would I actually pick this over Xerjoff Lira and Eilish by Billie Eilish? Hello people, my name is Nixon Darius and you are watching Smelly Cat. Before we move on, if anywhere in the video you think this is moving too slow for you, I would recommend increasing the speed to 1.25x or 1.5x, right? In today's video, we're going to talk about my experience with Lattafa Nebras or Lattafa Pride Nebras. Now, I've had this for 2 to 3 months now, although I will be honest, it's only in the last month or so that I've actually been able to wear and enjoy this, because the weather has only changed in the last 15 days to a month to a much cooler weather here in Dubai. Nebras is part of the Lattafa Pride collection, which is, or you could call it a sub-brand, Lattafa Pride, under the umbrella brand Lattafa. You can look at it as a luxury offering from Lattafa. They've recently launched around 26 to 28 new products under this Pride line, and I'm saying 26 and 28 and not 27 because it is an even number. Each of them have two similar bottles. For example, if this is Nebras, they have another one, if I'm not mistaken, called Wajud that looks exactly the same, except this gold, that one comes in silver. And similarly, they've done it with the other scents as well. Two similar bottles with a bit of change. So I think it's around 26, 28 to maximum, I think 30 new releases with two similar bottles with slight changes. So yeah, the new Pride line is a step or maybe a couple of steps above the normal Lattafas in terms of scent quality and price. In the UAE, this one goes for around 150 to 200 dirhams. To give you some context, this is about 5 to 6 times the price of the other normal Lattafas. And this is also not freely available here in the UAE, at least in Dubai, compared to the other Lattafas, which is a little weird because they're made here. So it looks like, I think only one distributor has this one with them. It's available on the official website from Lattafa, but other than that, in terms of e-commerce, shops, etc., I think only one distributor has these Pride line, and that's where I picked mine from. I think they're concentrating more on Europe and probably North America as a market, and that's where the price is also slightly higher here in the UAE. But the price difference isn't that much outside the UAE for those markets. So when you compare the normal Lattafa with this Lattafa Pride range, it makes it an absolute bargain when you buy this outside Dubai or outside the UAE. Having said that, I do not regret purchasing them at all. Yes, I'm saying them because I have Nebras, but I've also picked up from the Pride line Lattafa's Eternal Oud, and both of them were blind buys and both of them are bangers. Although I did have some problem with the glass dome on Eternal Oud, and I think I'm not the only one who's had this problem. Full story when if I do a video on it. Actually, you know what, you let me know in the comments if you want me to cover or do a proper video on Eternal Oud as well. I've used it for the last couple of months, so let me know in the comments. Just type in Eternal Oud, don't say anything else, and I'll see if there's enough interest on it. I'll do a separate video and I'll try doing it this week itself. Okay, back to Nebras. Let's first start with the presentation that I was praising so much. First, let's have a look at the box. This is the box that it comes in. I love this maroon, deep maroon color that it comes with, and also the texture. They've done this sort of leather wrap around it, and it just feels so premium. It has the Lattafa logo, Lattafa Pride logo at the bottom, Nebras in English and Arabic on top, this circle that you'll also see in the bottle, and you can call these sun rays maybe that come out from this circle. On the side you have you have Nebras written once again with those rays coming out from the logo. On top you have the Lattafa logo once more, and at the bottom you have all the information you need. So it's 100 ml, it's an eau de parfum, and the month that it was manufactured in. Here's how you pull this out. It's a slide to reveal kind of design, and you have the bottle which will sit inside this coffin quite snugly. Here's the bottle, very simple, sleek. I think it's very classy design. The square, I'm a fan of square bottles, like Nishani's 50 mls. I prefer it more than the Nishani 100 ml bottle, which is more of a cube. Roja Dove bottles, this is sort of like that. On the side you will have Lattafa Pride Nebras written once again in gold. In the center, like you saw in the box as well, you have this gold sort of, I don't know what you call it, sun or sun rays kind of thing. A lot of people I've seen, I was checking out eBay to check prices for this in the US, and I saw that this bit comes out for a lot of people. I didn't have that problem, although I had a problem with this. So mine in the bottle itself was already out. So I think it's just the cap for me, which I think has a problem with the glue, because when I even try to, just give me a second, even try to take this out, the plastic bit that is under the cap sort of comes out. So the first time I tried just pulling it up, some people told me that I have to twist and pull. I don't know, it shouldn't do this, but yeah, my cap sort of came out, and yeah, that's a hassle for me. All I need to do is put some super glue and get it fixed. Not a big deal, not at this price. If I was paying $150, $200 for this, then I would be like, okay, this is not how it should be done. But if Lattafa is planning to step up, I think these small things need to be taken care of as well. So I'll put the 3 pieces of the cap aside for now. Actually, you know what? Not that. I'll show you the top of the cap. Let me sort of assemble it. Gives me like a Lego-like feeling. But yeah, when it's together, it's actually a heavy cap with the Lattafa logo on top. Actually, it's quite sleek, looks good. I only think that it's probably because of the heat that the glue gave way and this sort of dismantled. A quick look at the sprayer as well. Here's how it sprays. It's, I don't know what to say about it. Does a decent job, puts out a decent amount of juice. You want me to do it again? Yeah, that's how it sprays. Smells amazing. Coming to the notes, the official notes on the Lattafa website says red berries and mandarin orange on top, vanilla, cacao and rose in the middle, and tonka, amber, musk and sugar as the base notes. I think that the notes are quite accurate, because the first thing you will notice when you spray it is this red berry and mandarin orange combo. Now I can't really say whether it's berry and mandarin orange, but yes, it has this berry-like sweetness with this citrusy freshness in it. The opening is very Xerjoff style, sweet at the same time fresh. It's this signature opening that most Xerjoff scents have, and something that they do very well. Think of scents like Cava, Cruz del Sur, Dolce Amalfi, La Capital, and most of all, Lira. And I'm surprised that not many people have compared this one to Lira that much. Yes, there have been a couple of comparisons, but if you go to Fragrantica, they talk about a different scent, which I'll talk about it as well. But not many people think that this smells like Lira. But for me, the opening is quite a lot like Lira. Now, just because those 2 top notes are mentioned doesn't mean that it's the only thing you'll smell in the opening. That's not how it works. It's just that those notes present themselves in the foreground, but in the background, you know that this is a true gourmand at heart. And as soon as you spray it, you can't wait for that top note to settle down a little and really wait for that gourmand nature to come out, for that vanilla, cacao and amber to truly take over the scent. So yeah, the opening reminded me of Xerjoff Lira, and for the first 2 or 3 times that I actually wore it, I thought that this was a take on Lira, because I hadn't seen the notes yet. There were no reviews of it online as well, so I picked this up, blind bought it. No one was talking about it back then, and I thought that this was Lattafa's take on Xerjoff Lira. However, I also noticed that actually, not me, but my wife noticed that this actually, they're always right, My wife actually noticed that this smells a lot like something we picked up on our trip in Switzerland a couple of months back. Actually, we didn't even pick it up. I mean, we didn't even buy it. We bought a couple of other scents at Douglas in Zurich, and they just threw it in for free. A 10 ml sample, they just gave it to us for free. I'm talking about Eilish by Billie Eilish. My wife loved that scent so much that she finished it almost finished the 10 ml in Switzerland itself. And by the time we were here back in Dubai in the first week, it was gone. The bottle was completely empty. So yes, the other scent that it will remind you of is Eilish by Billie Eilish. Let me put it this way. When it starts off, it's closer to Xerjoff Lira, but once it starts drying down, I'd say it is in between Lira and Billie Eilish, but leaning more towards Eilish. So that Lira opening and all goes a little. Still, if you sniff it and you have used Lira in the past, you will make the comparison, but definitely this is closer to Eilish by Billie Eilish. Let me tell you 2 or 3 other scents that this will also remind you of, just so that you know the kind of scent that this is. One, it'll remind you of Chocolate Greedy, Montal's Chocolate Greedy. But while Montal's Chocolate Greedy has a very dusty cocoa powder like chocolate to it, this one has a very deep and lightly spiced, more rounded chocolate feel. Number 2, it will remind you of Kayali's Vanilla 28. If you've tried that, that is a nice dark deep vanilla scent, and this one definitely towards the dry down has a lot of similarities with that one as well. Number 3, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Yes, if you take that bergamot freshness off the top of this one and you reach the deep dry down, I'm not saying that it will smell the same right off the bat, but if you reach the deep dry down of this one where that vanilla really shines, it's definitely got some similarities with the Lattafa. And number 4, not a perfume, but a candle that we've used a lot from Bath and Body Works. It's called Vanilla Bean. We've used Vanilla Bean as well. Let me ask my wife, she knows. Yeah, she told me that it smells like Vanilla Bean Noel, the candle from Bath and Body Works. It's called Vanilla Bean Noel, and then there's another one called Vanilla Bean, and it smells sort of similar to that. But I think because I've used Vanilla Bean Noel for quite a long time, it's something that fills the room up with this creamy, soft vanilla deliciousness. And this one, in about an hour or so, will remind you of that as well. If that didn't tell you what this one smells like, let me try helping you with one sentence to simplify it, okay? This is a warm biscuit-like vanilla with a gentle linear spice running all throughout, and a chocolate that becomes more prominent in the dry down with a bit of sweetness from the berries and a fluffy, soft, ambery, musky base. But would I actually pick this over Xerjoff Lira and Eilish by Billie Eilish? I most definitely would. Xerjoff Lira for me is definitely a much better scent than this one, but where this one comes in on top is with that price. And when compared to Eilish by Billie Eilish, this one feels more expensive, it feels of better quality, and it beats the shit out of it when it comes to the performance. In fact, if you blind test this one and Eilish by side by side, you would think that Eilish by Billie Eilish is actually a clone of this one. Talking about the performance, like I told you, my wife couldn't get enough of Eilish by Billie Eilish, and in more senses than one, by which I mean that thing doesn't last. It does about 3 to 4 hours, and I'm not sure if it was the sample that we received, whether it was something old and they just gave it away for free. But honestly, even though the scent was really good, it didn't last more than 3 to 4 hours on our skin. So it needed respraying, and that was one of the reasons why it got over so fast as well. And my wife was actually looking to buy that one. until we discovered this one, and now we don't need that one at all, because this one in terms of performance gives me around 8 to 9 hours without any problem, and it has decent projection for the first 2 to 3 hours, and after that it's like this delicious blanket covering you, which people who get close to you, say in about a meter's radius, will definitely enjoy. So Lattafa Nebras, great for date nights, great for Netflix and chill, great for a night out. A lot of people find this feminine, but I would say this is more unisex. You can definitely pull this off. I would say unisexy, because this is definitely a delicious scent, and if you're a man, don't be afraid of pulling this one off. You will, because you will smell delicious. It's not too floral, it's not too fruity. Yes, that vanilla is strong, but it does come across as a very sexy scent, and if you're confident, you are going to enjoy it, and people around you are going to enjoy it as well. I think anyone between the age of 18, not even 18, this is quite a young, fun scent. So anyone from say 12 to 35, even 40 is going to enjoy this scent. Not super versatile, I'd say. So I don't see it as a work scent, although it's safe to wear at work. It's more of an evening out kind of scent. But I would say that the only time you can't wear this in is probably out in the heat. So wait for the cooler weathers and this will be magical. So Lattafa Nebras, it's a no-brainer really. It's a vanilla bomb, and if you're a gourmand lover, this is a gourmand lover's dream. I hope I've answered all questions, and one second. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. I hope I've answered all questions. Getting this out. And if you have any, please let me know in the comments or add me on Insta and DM me. And thank you once again for liking, sharing and subscribing. And until next time, keep smelling amazing.